Unplugged. This is episode 23. Michael Jordan vibes today, so we are going to absolutely kill it. We have so many topics to get to. I'm Sydney Corra, right next to Motorsports Insider Kurt Hansen. Kurt, how the hell are you?
It's good to see you there, Sydney. So you made pasta last night, huh?
Oh, I did. I made this, well, it was just spaghetti, but it had really good ingredients, homemade meatballs, the best kind of
Wait. Was this vegan meatballs?
No.
Okay, so real meat.
Yeah. I cook meat for my boyfriend, but I don't eat the meat. But it was just delicious homemade sauce with all the tomatoes. Yeah, homemade meatballs, and I did like a white wine pasta sauce. It was delicious. So,
what time's dinner?
Chef's kiss.
Well, it was good to see you last Friday. We've been kind of in and out lately with a lot of stuff going on. And
yes.
This Friday, as you already know, I will once again be back at the Knoxville Nationals, the 62nd NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals, presented by Casey's General Store. Got to be sure and get all that stuff in there. I got in trouble last year for missing a couple of those little drops.
Oh, wow.
Lot to unpack. Anyway. But I'm blaming it on the medication I was on, and it was hot and humid. And it'll be hot and humid again. But this year, we're going to also take in, and this is not so much a work trip. It is work, but light work. I'm going to check out the Iowa State Fair, which I guess is one of the biggest in the country. People come from everywhere. I guess I'll see a lot of corn and a lot of hot, sweaty people, and probably some turkey legs.
So you're flying there?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you can't bring back any corn for us?
Maybe. I'll look into that. The Des Moines International Airport, as they call it, which is an incredibly, loosely formatted structure or a non-structure of the facts, because it's not really international per se. But maybe the people that are Des Moinesians or whatever they call them, Iowans or whatever. But yeah, it's like when I fly into Denver, I look at the city and go, oh, that's a cute little toy. I'm used to flying to San Francisco or LA or New York or someplace, like, wow, we got 13 buildings now downtown.
Yeah.
I'm being a wise ass, but I've been kind of in a snarky mood lately.
Okay.
Blame it on the weather. I mean, I woke up in the morning. I wake up every morning, thank God. But went outside and I could feel that little cool little bite. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, it really is. It's like 30 days until the end of summer, Labor Day weekend.
The fall vibes are coming. And I went to Target the other day, and boy, they got the fall stuff already kicking in there. So
and I'm too old to go back to school, but I thought I'd buy like a cool, SpongeBob SquarePants little yellow backpack or something.
Oh, yeah?
Carrier. Yeah, just to be different.
Yeah, you give me SpongeBob vibes.
Yeah, probably get arrested wearing that. But anyway, a lot going on. Very interesting season so far. Little factoid, and we'll get to the IndyCar stuff, but IndyCar season's over in 30 days.
Yeah.
That's also, and their season ends early. NHRA goes on and on and on. NASCAR 2, Formula 1, on and on and on. So, I mean, we still got IMSA goes on and on and on. And, but I can't, I'm having to do I'll have to look at my phone and check on the time and the day because it just seems where to go.
Yeah. Well, do you want to keep it rolling with NHRA, or should we go to?
Let's talk a little World Outlaws, because that's kind of the most. We'll start with the most current, then we'll kind of do a little look back and then do some predictions for the future. But I'm excited. Again, a light work schedule this year. Last year we were pretty busy, 15-hour days, 3 of them, no sleep, and hot and humid, and it was a lot of fun and a lot of great racing. But I'm looking forward to this year, just kind of going and doing light work, hanging with some good friends of mine, and just kind of having a good time. No, Nicole likes these things for like 5 minutes. Like she gets there and goes, that's really cool. Now what? And so, she's fortunately, somebody's got to work in this family. Come on, really? So, and she likes it when I'm gone. She cleans the house. It's quiet. There's no
Yeah.
snoring. I mean, she actually, it's her vacation. So
Okay.
it's like, she's like, go, please. I'm like, are you pushing me out the door? No, but let me slam the door behind you. So anyway, so yeah. So Knoxville National should be really interesting. Donnie Schatz has a chance to do something that not many people have done before. He won last year his 11th Knoxville National Championship and did it kind of well in Donnie Schatz fashion. I mean, it was David Gravel looked like he had the thing, put away, and Donnie just ran him down. And a lot of people did predict that they felt the winner, because of the track conditions and the way the weather was, that the winner would probably have to run the bottom incredibly efficiently and run that low berm, which is huge.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Donnie Schatz did it, and ran David Gravel down with like 3 laps to go, and he did it in classic Schatz fashion. I got the first interview up with Donnie off the podium after he won last year, and I was teasing him because it said 10-time Knoxville National Champion. I told him, I said, well, we got to update the suit. He kind of chuckled. We'll see if he's updated the suit to 11 times from last year. But yeah, I mean, it kind of was a surprise, but kind of not a surprise, because their Ford Motor program had been kind of a struggle all year long.
Mm-hmm.
They got it together, just in time for Knoxville. And then Donnie chose to kind of run the bottom in, and he ran the bottom in early, and then came back. And was running midline, top lines, and then when it really came to be go time, went back to the bottom. And David Gravel was married to the top, as Donnie put it, and Donnie just ran him down. And the way you're supposed to do it, you don't want to telegraph the guy that you're coming, because then you get a lot of this stuff, and you got to race him to the checkered. I mean, he just came up on him, and zib-a-zab, as I call it. Boom, made the pass and went on to the victory. We'll see if this happens this year. Brad Sweet's up to his nasty tricks. The 4th time in a row.
Dude, all these guys just have like good racing names.
They really do. And Brad Sweet, the pride of Castro Valley, California, if memory serves me correct. But Brad Sweet he's sweet. And look at the standings right now. I mean, David Gravel, who he and Brad went down to the championship, I think 10 points separated, and Sweet eked it out last year. But Carson Macedo, again, a lot of people thought he was the fastest car on the track last year, and but had a couple unfortunate DNFs and cost him a championship. This guy's been really, really quick this year again in in his machine. They call them, I think, the California. They got some cute name for them. They got the Pennsylvania Posse and the California Clique or something, so they like that. But Logan Schuchart, part of Shark Racing, as I call it, Pennsylvania Posse 2.0. Giovanni Scelzi from the pride of Fresno, California. Gary Scelzi, the funny car, many-time champion NHRA's kid. Schatz is 6th. Sheldon Hodenschild, 7th. Jacob Allen is 10th, part of the other half of the Pennsylvania Posse. I mean, it's the Knoxville Nationals, and the gloves come off. And it's, as I tell people all the time, if you've not been to, even locally, one of the good sprint car shows, you're missing something. But over 100 entries this year for the Knoxville Nationals. Over $1 million purse, $185,000 to win. And it's the now the Houston Speedway earlier this season had what they called the world's richest sprint car race. I think that might have got a fire lit under the folks over in Knoxville, because they kind of they're the epicenter of sprint car racing, and it's a fact. So I can't wait. It's supposed to be in the 80s, which is good. Of course, mid 80s there means it'll be 80% humidity. So,
not too bad.
A lot of martinis will have to be had.
Yeah.
And the annual visit to the Rib Shack, which does like 60% of its yearly business in Knoxville week, the 2 weeks, the 360 championship and the 410. So there'll be a lot of people. I'm excited. I can't wait. I fly out tomorrow at a reasonable time. Then I can come back at like 6:30 in the morning on Sunday, which should be a lot of fun. But having said all that, a lot to look for from the Knoxville Nationals this year, the 62nd. Yeah. And we're going to be airing highlights from the Knoxville Nationals probably next month. So for you sprint car, plus a little IndyCar, a little our normal deal. But I'm excited. It should be a lot of fun. And, it's always a good time in Knoxville, as we say.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear back from you, see what happens.
We'll talk about it on the show.
Martinis, what's in a martini?
Well, it depends if you drink them dirty or straight up. I drink them straight. So Kettle One vodka straight up.
So it's just
3 olives. Straight. Well, that's the way I drink it. Some people put pickle juice.
So how are people just sipping on martinis? Aren't they like disgusting?
Yeah, I'm making a joke. Yeah, I think Knoxville will be the Budweiser and Coors and probably some Natty Light and some Busch capital of the world. But there's not a lot of martinis being served around the racetrack. I mean, there's some cool little bars, and we will definitely do our best to try to find out.
Have you ever had an espresso martini?
No, it sounds pretty good, though.
Oh, it's delicious.
Oh, look at you. It's delicious.
It's so good. But I will say, I don't, it's still disgusting because it still tastes like alcohol, but it's pretty good because it has like coffee in it.
Yeah, well, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I don't think we're sponsored by any of those beverages, so we're going to move on.
And always drink responsibly.
Yeah. Let's take it back to NHRA.
Yes.
Just back in the points lead. How about that?
Yeah. So, I'm sorry. Say that again. Like also that my computer went blank.
Oh, we're talking NHRA and Justin Ashley.
Oh. Yes. Boy, I tell you, it's been an interesting year in the NHRA. Justin Ashley started off incredibly strong. Came to Denver Speedway for the final champion. In the points lead, lost it. I believe he lost it at Seattle. But and Steve Torrance has started to find, he started to find his groove. But here's what's so amazing is the NHRA this year has been so unpredictable, and it's really, really, really hard, in my opinion, to and I don't do predictions because, as I've said a million times, all it takes is a little $5 part to break and you're out. And we see it happen all the time. But it's going to come down to a real battle. But Justin Ashley's back in the championship lead, not by much over Steve Torrance, but Torrance has been a bit inconsistent this year, and I'm not sure what that means. Justin Ashley's been more consistent, and if you've heard me say in the program before, it's like how I've been looking for my who's picking up momentum, who's trending, and we'll talk about that when we talk about NASCAR, because last weekend kind of threw a monkey wrench in my plans. But Matt Hagan, the most consistent thing in the NHRA this year has been Matt Hagan, and his good friend and somewhat nemesis, Ron Capps, former teammates at Don Schumacher Racing. Capps is second. Alexis Sajori is right in there. J.R. Todd, by the way of his most recent win, and good for J.R. He's a really, really neat kid and a really good shoe. But if there's been a consistency of inconsistency, certainly it's been over there at the Coletta camp with, what's been going on. Sean Langman's been pretty good as of late. Doug Coletta is, I believe is 8th in the championship right now. But Doug, one weekend can put the car on the pole and then, haze the tires in the first round and get disqualified. It's just, I don't know what the plan is. They actually took, which was kind of interesting, a little timeout. It's a break in the schedule anyway, but they basically took all the cars, all the teams, all the traders, everybody, and went testing about a month ago to try to help get Stella get her groove back. Because again, the most consistent thing has been the inconsistency of Coletta, which is kind of surprising. And I don't know. It is what it is. But if I had to say right now, it obviously, and Leah Pruitt has hung around.
Yeah.
I believe she's fourth the championship. And, so here we go. Again, Leah's been hanging around. They've been finding more consistency. She's won this year. And that's going to make Tony happy. I'm sure that dinners around the old casa are probably a little more palatable or comfortable, now that Leah is in the hunt. But it's why drag racing is drag racing. Everything can change every time you roll into the lights, and that's what makes it kind of cool.
Yeah, well, speaking of Leah Pruitt, we never told the audience this, but I actually had the chance to ride in the Hellcat.
Oh, yes, you did. Sorry, I'm doing business while I'm doing this, right?
Down the speedway at a Vandermeer. Gosh, what was that? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Believe it or not, it was like 3 or 4. I know time flies. Yeah, mid-July.
Well, anyways, that was so cool. It was the first time
I made you do it.
Yeah,
I forced you to get in.
Yeah, but it was really cool to meet her and to do that. And but anyways, yeah, NHRA. Oof.
The National Hard Rain Association. Actually, not so much this year. They haven't had. Now, of course, now I say that they'll get a bunch of rainouts, but a few years ago, it was pretty intense. But I think the same players will be the top. It's surprising that John Force is way back in the standings. I want to say he's 9th or 10th or something like that. I mean, I can't memorize all this stuff. And that's how this is supposed to be. It's kind of loosely formatted, just you and I talking, nobody watching.
Yeah.
But I mean, Force has got a long ways to go. I wonder, I've yet to hear any of the retirement conversation, but because John is the Energizer Bunny and he makes that thing all go. But I don't know. And as you heard him say at Vandermeer Speedway in his very candid F-bomb, rant about the passing of Vandermeer Speedway and his relationship with the Vandermeers. And he said the world's changed. Everything has changed.
That's true.
It's pretty much true. The only thing constant in the world now is kind of like the Coletta team. It's changing and it's inconsistent. Yeah. So we'll take it all from there.
Yeah, man, it really makes all sports pretty unpredictable, especially motor racing. Seems like there's definitely some people out there who would like motor racing to go away.
Oh God!
And then with all the other professional sports, it's just. But you know what? It makes it kind of fun as a broadcaster or as an analyst. Lots to talk about.
Yeah, well, and the fact that it's not like a football team. Like if you're 9-1 and you're rolling people, I love these guys that get on these sports talk shows. Well, the Broncos should win by 10 this weekend. We haven't heard that in a long time. But you're 9-1 and you're rolling everybody, and you're playing a team that's 1-9. So let's really get out on that steel limb, as I call it. It's a total different vibe, and it's what makes it exciting. It's never really predictable. You can be trending one way. According to the trends, Justin Ashley, was just going to sail off from the sunset, and all of a sudden, a couple hiccups. Steve Torrance wins, takes the points lead back. But we'll see. The countdown's coming up, and that will reshuffle everybody to the angst of many. So anyway,
okay,
that's enough. That's enough.
We'll move on here. Seems like an ongoing and developing story that we return to frequently, but Kyle Larson and Denny Ham Sandwich feud.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I can really put my finger on, and because I've been there as a driver, is it's a lot of pressure over there. And Denny owns part owner of the Bubba Wallace car, and Denny's always he's like the Susan Lucci of NASCAR. I mean, they finally had to just give Susan Lucci an Emmy because she was the runner up like 15 times. Everybody felt bad for her. You wouldn't know I think that's from. It's one of those days of night.
Days of Our Lives.
I could have been that. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, okay.
Susan Lucci, but yeah, and she's okay looking. But my favorite. All my children. Yeah, my favorite is Kate DiCastillo, who was the queen of novellas, who I met a couple times at Long Beach Grand Prix doing the celebrity race. Kate's, and she's also the one. She did that thing about the big drug lord, and they did interviews with him, Pablo Escobar, and she did that with not Brad Pitt, but. Oh man! Anyway, but when they arrested Pablo Escobar, he and his crew felt that Kate DiCastillo and not Brad Pitt, but the other guy, anyway, that they led officials to find out where they were and capture them. And they put a hit on her, and she had to hide for a couple of years, which is pretty scary. Anyway, I didn't mean to. I digress.
Wait, is that the lady that was like dating Pablo Escobar?
No. She's a queen of novella. She's a beautiful Latina.
Okay,
and she did the thing. Sean Penn, her and Sean Penn did a special on Pablo Escobar. They got access to him. They interviewed him and the whole deal. It's kind of scary. Scary. Didn't work out so good. But
anyways,
what the hell was I talking about?
You said Denny
I'm
Hamlin.
Definitely unplugged. Oh, so Hammond's feeling the heat, and I think always being the bridesmaid. And he's got to be feeling the heat from Joe Gibbs. He's got to be feeling the heat from FedEx. FedEx has not been on the car as of late, which is interesting, but that's kind of the way things go now. To have a big-time sponsor full-time on the car for 36 races is kind of a rarity anymore. It kind of does move around. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think he's feeling the pressure big time, and it's showing. He's doing things that he's always been kind of a loose nut behind the wheel, but he's doing a lot of stuff. He's very aggressive and angry, and he's kind of got himself fixated on Kyle Larson, and I get it. But
he's a little too emotional.
Well, he is the same guy that had the sports psychiatrist.
Oh, that's right.
Help him a couple of years ago. So I don't know. But to get away from Denny Ham Sandwich, I get tired of talking about him. Good news: Martin Truex will be back next year. And I don't think that was a foregone conclusion. We talked about it last Friday in the show ad nauseum, but I don't think that was a foregone conclusion. I think Martin was really thinking about retirement. And as I've said a couple times in the last few weeks, I've been looking for somebody to kind of step up and kind of start that trend. Who's trending? Who is carrying momentum and going to carry it into the championship rounds and all that kind of stuff and win the cup? Well, Martin seems to be that guy as of late. And I think maybe now that he's announced that he's coming back, but boy, break up, Roush, Keselowski Fenway Racing, because Chris Buescher's won 2 races in a row. Very, very good driver. Now, I don't think, but that whole team, RFK, has really gotten a lot stronger in the past, 8-9 races. So do I see them as a championship contender? Not yet, not at this point. Is Martin kind of my favorite? I don't know. William Byron will not go away. And Hendrick Motorsports has 4 cars, and they are loaded for bear. And they can do a lot of things like they did last year with Joey Logano at the championship round in Phoenix. They can put Ryan Blaney on his wing, and anybody gets close, Top Gun time. Shoot him down, Iceman. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting because 4 against 2 is. Well, it's 4 against 2.
Yeah.
They've got really 2 strong cars over there. Christopher Bell's in there, but Um, It's going to be interesting. What happened? Somebody's robbing your house now? You have a home invasion going on?
Yeah, pretty much.
Live and in color?
Yeah.
Who's coming in? Do we know this person?
It was a ghost.
Stop that, because we have ghosts in the studio.
Yeah. We have ghosts everywhere. Ghosts just follow us around, apparently.
Yeah, great. So anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, but I'm sure Toyota's happy that Martin's coming back, and of course they put Chad Knaus and Jimmy Johnson in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I mean, shocking, really, big surprise. But Toyota's got to be happy. Boy, he's getting that whole legacy camp in their camp next year. A little old company from Japan's proved to be pretty tough in the world of NASCAR. But the bow tie guys are hanging around. Watch out for William Byron.
The bow tie guys? What's that?
That's what you call a Chevrolet, because the logo looks like a bow tie.
Wow.
Yeah, and the Ford guys are the blue oval.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll move on to IndyCar at Nashville. Can you break that down for us?
So, what a race! I mean, Nashville has really stepped up, and much like I've said, and I'll be in the land of Hy-Vee here in a day or so, but like the Hy-Vee supermarket chain, boy, how they've stepped up and really made a big difference in IndyCar and what they did at the doubleheader a few weeks ago with the live talent and the bands and all the activation. And they do the same thing in the world of Outlaws, but it, what was I talking about?
Dude, you're like that politician. Who was it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What was I lying about? Where were we? Yeah, IndyCar. That's right. Yeah, the little cars, cute cars go zoom. So Nashville stepped up big time. Hy-Vee's involved with that deal. The Nashville race will be the season finale next year, which, boy, oh boy, because that place is really narrow and daunting and fast, and all kinds of crazy things can happen. It's a funny time of the year. Simon Pagenaud, from his big crash a month or so ago, is still not clear to drive, concussion protocols. Linus Lundqvist has stepped into the number 60 car, and man, he was driving it like it was stolen in Nashville, but he had a plethora of problems. The air scoop in the front blew off like 10, 12 laps in. So he's basically sitting in an incubator with mid-80s, 80% humidity, and there's no airflow in those cars. And when that thing blew off, it knocked the breather hose off the back, so he had no cool air pumped into his helmet. So that's a good thing. And then towards the end of the race, they asked him if he'd turn off his cool suit, so he had no cool water running through his driver's suit.
Oh my God.
So it was like the Swedish, it was like tuna in a can. And he crashed out late. And I can tell you, as I call it, when you get overheated and the hard drive starts to get hot, you do lose a little bit of your preciseness. And I'm wondering, and nobody's talked about it, but I'm wondering if that could have been the case with Linus later in the race, because, I mean, he had a solid top five. He was very much on pace with the leaders all race long, and crashed out, which was kind of sad to see. But your winner from Long Beach, Kyle Kirkwood, once again shows that he is and will be a force to be reckoned with, if not everywhere, because we've seen we had that horrific crash at Indy, spewing parts, all into the grandstands, and tire coming off the car and sliding upside down at 200 miles an hour is probably not, it's not a day at the beach.
No, sir.
But the guy definitely is very good at the road courses. He'll learn the ovals, but the temporary street circuits and stuff, this guy's got what it takes, because it takes a lot. And our good friend Rafa Matos, who was on the show last Friday,
yeah,
he set quick time, was on the pole for Trans Am, had some challenges in the race, but ended up on the podium. He was third, so good for Rafa. It was always good to catch up with him. And aside from that, we're like 30 minutes in. What else are we supposed to talk about?
We have one more. Well, let me just say this: the politician that I was referencing earlier was Senator Mitch McConnell.
Oh,
he had gone up during a press conference, and he was talking, and then he paused for 19 seconds.
Oh, kind of like me.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You're turning into Mitch McConnell. He was just talking. He was like,
or Joe Biden.
Yeah, or Joe Biden. Dude, you're giving Joe Biden vibes hard right now, Kurt.
The people's choice.
Okay, all right. Yeah. The last thing, which is great because this is our closing topic, and the topic itself is about something closing. It's the closing of the raceway in
Topeka. Yeah, so and I'll try to make it quick. So yeah, Topeka, which I announced there years ago at the SCCA National Championships, and I gave it the nickname of Holy Topeka. Some people liked it, most people hated it, but it was at least a fun time. But yeah, for tax reasons and property taxes and all this and that, they claim that they're being forced out of business, which is an interesting topic. But this part of the country is very important to not just NASCAR, but IndyCar, NHRA. I mean, we're a hub. It's easy to get in and out of Denver. We have great facilities. We have great bars and restaurants and hotels. Bandler Speedway is going away. I'm just going to play a politician, Jeff Bezos, rich guy, here on the radio or whatever the hell we call this thing. But if somebody could get a hold of Topeka, now it's not in a beautiful place. It's Topeka, man. But strategically, it's still in the hub. It's in the hub of the country, and it'd just be curious to see if somebody could go in there with enough money and enough leverage to be able to take that place over. Now, granted, it needs a lot of work. The place is tired. Even when I was there years ago by another former owner, it was tired. There was actually rumors that it'd be closing, back then. But I don't know. I mean, I hope the Vandermeers can get something built, but maybe if they could squeeze another year or two out of Topeka, just so that the NHRA could still have this hub, because a lot of people come to Colorado for the Mile High Nationals, and if they don't have a track ready to, have an NHRA event, maybe Topeka could at least, fill the gap. A la the Oakland Raiders leaving Oakland. They played the big last game. They won. Farewell, Oakland. And the Oakland Coliseum Committee and Commission, who are a bunch of criminals and thieves, were screwing the Raiders anyway. Said, hey, wait a minute, we don't want you to move yet. We'll give you one more year. So the Raiders stayed for one more year while they finished the Dark Star in Vegas. It'd be just interesting to see if people with money and power and some leverage could get together and maybe keep Topeka open. If it's just going to be open for a year or two, don't spend a bunch of money improving the place, but at least have a place that's in the hub of the country for drag race fans to go. Just a JMO, I think the young people call it. Just my opportunity. For opinion.
All right. Well, right on, Kurt. Man, we got to
arm
stuff. Right arm.
Right arm.
We got to a lot of stuff today. I'd say it was a good 23 episode.
All right, bucket hat.
Yeah. Well, Kurt, we will look forward to hearing back from you after your weekend. And we'll see everyone back here for episode 24. It's 23, so it's our Michael Jordan episode, and then next week will be our Kobe episode. So
right, and so when we get to 45, we can be Michael Jordan again, because he wore 45, I think, with Charlotte.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Well, who knows?
You should go back and play baseball. That was a really good idea. Yeah. I can unpack. I know a lot about the back end of that stuff. But Sydney, have a great weekend. Say hi to your main man, and as always, great job. And we'll talk a lot World of Outlaws when I get back next week.
Absolutely. All right. Bye.
See you, kid.